What if the women have low AMH level but don't want to use an egg donor?
The low AMH means that this woman's got a low egg reserve. And it doesn't actually stop you if you have a low AMH from conceiving even naturally. So it's not always a cause for not conceiving naturally. It can if your AMH, if your egg reserve drops to the extent where you're not ovulating anymore. So if you're not getting regular periods, then maybe, but most of the time that's not what we see. But if you have a low egg reserve, then it makes it a challenge when we're doing IVF to get multiple eggs, because that's what we ideally would want, is to get multiple eggs, because then we have more chance of getting embryos and more embryos to select from, and therefore overall the success rate of the IVF would improve. But it doesn't mean that a woman with low AMH cannot try IVF as long as her egg reserve is such that we can still stimulate. So, there's a spectrum to this, of course, and if we're talking the extremes, then yes, maybe egg donation is the only option, but that's not what we see for most people. And there are further tests that we do in addition to AMH. So we do a hormone profile at the beginning of the woman's cycle, and we can also use the ultrasound scan, appearance of the ovaries, to judge this, and we can still try stimulation. Usually, if the AMH is very low, we may go for a gentler stimulation, something like a modified natural cycle, where we only give a small dose of medication. Typically, we get 1 or 2 eggs with that, but even if we were to give the high medication in such cases, we would only get 1 or 2 eggs anyway. So there are still options for treatment, but it definitely does depend on how bad the drop in ovarian reserve is, and if it's an extreme level, if it's perimenopause or menopausal. Unfortunately, there are times where we can't help even with medication.